Hey, what's going on, everybody? Welcome back to the Friends Podcast, man. Thank you so much for joining us. And if it's your first time,
hmm
thank you for coming through. My name is Matt, and I'm here with my co-hosts.
What's up, y'all? It's Jermayne.
And this is Ron. This is the Friends Podcast. Make sure you check us out. We're streaming everywhere: Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Amazon Music, iHeartRadio, YouTube. Also, make sure you check out our socials at the Friends Pod. It's on TikTok, Instagram, and also make sure you go check out those YouTube shorts. Shout out to the old and new listeners.
Man, can y'all believe it's May already?
It is
No, I
crazy.
can't believe it.
Yeah, this shit is
It's
flying
like
by.
mid-May. This thing is rolling by.
Yeah, it's getting hot.
Mm-hmm. Any special plans y'all got coming up?
Yeah, I'm about to get ready to head out to Vegas, and I'm about to take a trip out there. My first time going there,
Ooh.
being an adult, because when I went there before, I was like a kid. So I'm gonna go probably do all the touristy things.
How long you gonna go out there for?
I'll probably be out there for 3 or 4 days.
Man, I feel like a Vegas regular. I've been out there like the past maybe 2 years in a row. We do a yearly family trip. It's sickening how much I know about Vegas and just going there like twice. But Vegas will
What
be
you
dope.
do there as a family?
A lot of eating out. We always go every year for the summer league. So my brother works for the Pistons, so we go for the summer league. We watch a lot of games, and then it's just like eating and stuff at night, basically. But so I've actually never been to like a Vegas like club, any of the wild Vegas stuff. I've never done because I've always never gone on like a family setting. But this year. I really want to see Usher when we go back.
Does he have a residency out there?
Yup.
Oh, wow.
Going crazy.
I don't know if I really want to go see Usher or not.
Are you going to see any shows? Are you a show guy?
I'm more of a comedy show person. So
Okay.
I'm going to the Laugh Factory. That's one of the most famous spots for comedians and stuff like that.
Dope.
Yeah, I'm really big into food, so I'm going to a bunch of restaurants. I'm probably gonna go to Hell's Kitchen, things like that.
Nice. Yeah, I went to Wolfgang Puck's spot, I think last time. That was cool. Aisha Curry's
Wolfgang Puck,
spot.
nice. Oh, she got a spot?
Yeah, low-key, it was very overrated though. Very overrated. I don't remember the name of it, but if that's on the list, don't go.
She got a restaurant?
She got a restaurant.
Wow.
She's getting money in the food space. She has
Steph Curry really be looking out, man. Like, she can cook, but like, come on now.
I know she can cook like that because I'm telling you, the food was very mid. But she's heavy in the food space. She's got like her pots and pans. I actually have a set of Aisha Curry pots and pans.
They
She
good?
got the restaurants. Oh, they're all. I'm sorry, a lot of her stuff is mid. You know, I feel like celebrities put their names on stuff, and it's just very mid. But support Black business.
Yeah, I just feel like her season probably be under season.
That was what it tasted like. It was just very like bland for what it was. I remember I had like some mac and cheese. Like the drinks were cool. They were like super elaborate, had like little, flags and stuff hanging out of them, but nah. Very mid.
You gotta get people drunk.
Not even like watered down drinks. I'm telling you, that was like the worst meal I had in Vegas. Worst meal. But the Warriors are my team, so I had to go support Aisha.
Matt, you been out to Vegas?
No, but I did want to ask Jermaine what you got planned. You asked us, so do you have anything planned? Anything fun going on in the near future?
Near future. So near future, like this upcoming week, I got a couple things going on. I'm taking my mom to a calligraphy class, which should actually be really funny because I literally have the worst handwriting ever. I don't know if you've ever seen my handwriting before, but it is horrible. People see it all the time and they're like, "Oh, I thought this was a dude's handwriting." It's really bad. So I'm gonna take this class with my mom. Going to a kickback later tonight, which should be cool. Get out about a bit. So yeah, that's about it. It's not Vegas.
It's not Vegas, but it's still gonna be a good time. But yeah, I guess with that being said, we can go ahead and get into these topics. You just mentioned that you're a Warriors fan.
Mm-hmm.
It looks like recently, I ain't gonna date the podcast, but they just got bounced up out of here.
They
Uh,
did.
Anybody? I don't know if anybody caught that game. It was sad actually watching that shit.
Why do you say
Um,
that? I missed the game, but of course I saw the score, but I did miss the game.
it was sad. I mean, I don't like the Warriors. I respect Steph, but like everybody else, kind of just was pretty garbage. I think Clay was like 3 for 16 or something, 4 for 16, and
8 points
yeah.
entire game in the game for like 37 minutes, I think.
Damn.
Mm.
Why don't you like the Warriors?
I do like I said, I respect Steph. Steph is one of the greatest of all time that I've ever seen. Shooter, off the ball, shit. Um, he'd get to the rack too. But other than that, it's not really anybody that they can hang their hat on. Obviously, like Clay was it, but
Mm-hmm.
they don't really have a Clay no more. Draymond just dirty as hell. Literally and figuratively, and as a person, spiritually. Um, but other than that, like I mean, like they cool. Like it was good to see them ball out for those couple years for championships. But like let somebody else have it. I'm gunning for the Lakers this season.
But how is the Lakers winning, letting somebody else having it? Like it's the same story, different day, basically.
True, and LeBron already got one with the Lakers, but I just kind of, I just want to see LeBron win again, just so we can shut up all these Jordan people saying Jordan better. I feel like if LeBron do it with this team, then there's really nothing nobody can say like versus the comparisons from Jordan and LeBron to me.
Yeah, they literally just picked up pieces and switched up the entire team right before the playoffs. That's the incredible thing to me. And they going this far. They going
Playing
to the
team.
the Western Finals. That's insane to me. And teams that should have been there. Who they play in the first round? Golden State. There's some team they shouldn't have beat.
No, the Lakers beat the Grizzlies and the Warriors beat the Kings in round one. That's what it was. I mean, yeah, the Kings was good though. Like De'Aaron Fox was doing his thing. Sabonis is good in the paint and stuff like that. They was doing their thing this year, but the Warriors kind of got them the fuck out of here. Um, I kind of wanted to see the Kings come through just because we haven't seen the Kings in the playoffs and go far in so long. De'Aaron Fox, a young dude, he balling out.
So long is an understatement.
I mean, yeah. I mean, it's been a couple years.
Pretty much our whole lives
Mhm.
since we were kids, Chris Webber days.
Exactly. Yeah. Chris Webber, Paige Stojakovic, all them, Mike Bibby, and all them. So, but yeah, like so, Warriors, they out of here. The Lakers are gonna be versing the Nuggets. What do y'all think is gonna happen in that one in the Western Conference Finals? Nuggets versus Lakers.
And Lakers in 5.
You tripping? You tripping?
And you think Lakers in what, 6?
I think the Lakers gonna get smacked. I think it might be a sweep, to be honest.
Really? See, honestly, personally, I hope it's the Nuggets. Like, I just want more. What I'm excited about for this playoff series is the fact that, like, we see teams being competitive where they haven't always been competitive. I'm just very sick of, like, seeing the same teams in the finals every year. Like, that's old. I'm tired of, no offense to LeBron. Like, hey, I get it. He's old. We want him to go out on a high note, however many years he has left. But I'm tired of it always being LeBron and somebody else. Like, I need there to be a little bit more diversity into what teams are actually competitive. So I hope it's the Nuggets. Go Nuggets at this point.
Man, as long as LeBron is breathing, there is no other team that's really gonna be up in the finals. Like pretty much most of his career, he's
Uh,
been like in the playoffs. So I don't
True,
know.
but
It's just
last year they didn't even make they didn't even make the playoffs last year. So
yeah. I mean, it's very rare. There's only a couple of times where he really didn't make it.
it's rare. It is. What I was gonna say is I do agree with you, Jermaine. Like it is kind of. I feel like that might deter people from watching the NBA. Where it's like it's always gonna be Steph, it's always gonna be LeBron, it's always gonna be Steph, then LeBron again, then Steph. I feel
Mhm.
like just that diversity and like the teams that can win and that can even get there to the finals is I feel like that can bring more people to watch the NBA, which people are
Let's
already
be
watching it
real.
right now. Uh huh.
Nobody wants to see like what, the Utah Jazz in the finals. Nobody really wants to see what, the Hornets or something like that. Like, people don't want to go see those teams. They're going. People really pay to watch LeBron. They pay to watch Steph shoot the threes. They're playing. That's literally why people are going to the games, because those superstar players.
You're right, but at the same time, like if the King or if the who you said the Hornets or the Jazz, like if they good enough to make it to the finals, that should be all you need to see. Like like if you're really a fan of the game of basketball, and you have a team that can actually make it to the finals, go through the first, second, third rounds, and get there, then they playing great basketball. Like that should be a draw for people to want to come and watch. But yeah,
It,
you're
it
right
was
though.
Yeah.
boring when we went and we saw the Bucks play whoever they did. Nobody was really tuned in like that.
You were absolutely
So,
right.
like, I don't even know who they played.
Last year, was it
No, I'm talking
Bucks?
about like when they won the championship.
Who did they play? It wasn't the Warriors. Was it the Warriors? It might have been the Nuggets or Warriors. Um, but
Exactly. That's
no.
my whole point. Like, people are not tuned in watching that.
So this the thing though. I think people are more a fan of like the flashy shit. Like you said, I want to see Steph shoot threes out. Shoot out light or shoot lights out. Excuse me. I want to see LeBron drive and dunk it home. I want to see, Jokic. So let's talk about that then. Like, is
They don't
is
want to see a
Jokic?
bunch of people passing.
But is Jokic an exciting player to watch because he don't even jump when he shoot. Like he kind of has the same bag for the most part. Like he'll do a little shake, do a turnaround fade away. Like is he
Yeah,
exciting
he's
to watch for
tall.
people?
He's like 2 feet from the rim.
Exactly, but like with that being said, he not no Steph. He not exciting to watch as Steph or
He's
LeBron.
scoring
So
like
like
50-point games and 30-point games pretty often. Like, he's a pretty exciting player to watch.
why? Because he puts up a lot of points.
Yeah, people like to see that. People want to see a dominant player who's playing really well. And I think he's even like, he's an all-star himself now. So you can't really count him out. Like, people are going to see him as well.
Yeah, I mean, I would say like, what if Jimmy Butler and them made it to the finals? The Heat. I feel like that would be, pretty exciting because he put up 56 and then 45 and all them different crazy
Hmm.
numbers.
Let's talk about the East for a second. Do you think the Heat's going to make it?
Right now, so they're gonna either play the 76ers or the Celtics, the winner of that.
Yeah, I just watched that game, the last one.
Mhm.
It's a close series, but I'm thinking they're going to end up playing the 76ers versus Embiid.
I don't know if they can get it done that next game. Like I said, I don't want to date the podcast, but right now it's 3-2. 76ers is up 3-2 on the Celtics. James Harden has looked pretty good. Embiid. When Embiid is on the floor, it's kind of shaky though because I feel like when he
He was the
wasn't playing,
MVP.
he was, but he hasn't really been playing like Jokic has been playing like the MVP, 1000%.
Then why is Embiid the winner?
Well, that's an interesting question because you know there was a point in the season where Kendrick Perkins had got on TV and he was like, "Yo, I don't even know why we talking about Jokic for the MVP. We only trying to give it to him because he white and woo woo woo." And he was saying all that stuff. And then from that point on, like the narrative about around like who should be the MVP kind of went to Embiid. So Kendrick Perkins, I feel like he really did influence people to want to vote for Embiid over Jokic.
He ain't got that much sauce to sway the vote like that. Let's be real.
Everybody was talking about it though. I mean, JJ Redick went on he was on the show and he, kind of combated him. Like it was a big thing in like in the NBA world, like the people that are NBA fans. So, and so if the fans seen it, then I'm sure the people that vote for MVP seen it. You know what I mean? And so, like I said, the narrative before Kendrick said that was like Jokic 1000% numbers wise. Like if you look at like the advanced stats, Jokic, but what he said really influenced that.
I think it's a little bit because of last year, when I feel like Embiid was the clear winner, should have been to me. Um, and then they gave it to Jokic. I think it's a little bit like, all right, we're gonna switch it up this time and give it to him, this player instead. And since the narrative, and maybe it was a little bit about what Perkins said, we're gonna give it to Embiid this time. We're gonna vote for him.
I don't know, and then it would have been Jokic's third MVP, and it would have been like, damn, he got three in a row. and like nobody ever gets 3 in a row. So I'm thinking like, yeah, maybe that's why they gave it to Embiid. And like you said, last year he was balling out. He did his
Yeah, and
thing,
Jokic
but
ain't even got a ring yet. You can't give him three MVPs and you ain't got one ring.
I feel like you can though.
3 MVPs in a row.
The MVP is a regular season award. It's not a playoff award. So if you balling out during the season, which he did, then you get the award. Like, it has nothing to do with the playoffs and how you perform.
I feel like the MVP award should go to the person who's winning games, and it's
In the
not. It's
regular
not just
season,
like your scoring. I feel like it's a part of the entire thing. Your team doing well and your scoring. I feel like that's how they come up with their MVP and what they consider when they're doing the voting.
okay. Well, Nuggets is the first seed and the Sixers are the 3 seed. So like
Hmm.
with that being said, like the Nuggets, once again, they're number one. So it's like, maybe it should have went to Jokic, but like I said, Embiid really isn't playing very well right now in the Sixers Celtics. I mean, he's okay. I just feel like I ain't gonna say he's soft. There's definitely like softer people like DeAndre Ayton on the Suns. He's super soft. Like, he don't never try to put a body on Jokic, or he never did because they beat him already. But yeah, like I just don't think he really performing to that point. Like he not hooping like Jimmy Butler is, or like Steph was, or the different types of players. But it's still like, as the MVP, I feel like you should affect the team and affect the game more than Embiid is. Um, Even when that night when he got the MVP, like they lost. Like, he did terrible. So
Another person that's playing kind of soft,
mhm.
Kevin Durant.
Oh
And it's
man,
saying that Kendrick Perkins had recently made some comments on him. He said Kevin Durant has accomplished a damn thing when it comes to the postseason since he left Steph Curry.
that's true.
He's been bouncing around team to team, and before he even got to the Warriors, he was not winning. They were just like first round of the playoffs, second round of the playoffs, maybe.
They
And then
made it
it'll
to the
be his
finals
team
one time.
always, yeah, maybe one time. But it's just like Kevin Durant when they talk about the top players in the league, top 75, and just NBA. It's looking a little weird for him, especially since he be making a big deal about people always doubting him and his skills. How I don't know. I know you're a big fan of Kevin Durant. I know you've been documented to say he's your one of your favorite players.
Yeah, I was, I did say that he was like literally the best in the NBA, but I think at this point I can't say that. I can't say that right now. He just not his shot is off. Like, it seems like something with his shot. Like, usually he's somebody that could just drain them bitches like over, especially because he's so tall. Like, you can't really even contest what KD is doing. But at this point, he's not even making the same shots that he's shooting right now. And like you said, that top 75, I don't know. Like, they put him in there, but I don't know. I don't know who we would take. Like, if we took him out at the top 75, I don't know who we would put in that's not already in
I'm
there.
not saying take him out top 75. That's not what I'm saying. He definitely deserved top 75. He's that good of a player. Um, but I'm just saying how he's done like these last couple of seasons, going from the Nets. Now he's here with this team.
Yeah, they got swept. I think the Nets got swept in the playoffs last year, which is something that's also interesting. Is the Suns, they lost in an elimination game at their crib. They got blown out last year. Same thing happened this year at their own crib. Got blown out. So it's kind of looking bad for the Suns as well. But the KD, I don't know, man. Like, they just did he. Let's how about this though? He just got there. It's only been a couple of months since he's been in the Sun. So, like, is there anything to like the team just not meshing yet?
Well, I was just about to say, I mean, if you're a KD fan, I'm curious what you think about his track record for, being a team hopper. Like, to me, it just seems like he never really stays anywhere long enough to like gel with the team. Like, obviously, he's a superstar in himself. He's incredibly talented, but like that team cohesion, he never seems to stay any place long enough and be in a system long enough to actually like really develop that chemistry with the rest of the team.
That's a good point. He
Hmm.
may lack leadership skills when you think about it,
Mm-hmm.
because he never gets his teammates to rally behind him.
I will say, going back to our LeBron conversation earlier, like that is one thing I will give LeBron. Like he is a perfect example of leadership. Like he will go into whatever team and however he needs to like get them all together there on the same page for a common goal and still show out himself like he does. So I can't take that away from him.
Most definitely, I agree. Like something that speaks to LeBron leadership, like in the Warriors and Lakers series, was a game 4 or 5 where he didn't even take. I think if he took any field goals, it was like one field goal attempt in the whole first half because he was just worried about facilitating for the rest of his teammates. Like for a person to not shoot, a person like LeBron James to not take any field goal attempts in a whole half of like that's selfless. Like it's being a team player, like you're trying to facilitate. KD doesn't really necessarily have that. Um, and to answer your question about that team hopping thing is like I'm the wrong person to ask because I'm a Thunder fan, and so it took me a long time to even come back around to like saying how great KD was because when he left after the Warriors bust our ass in was that 2015, I believe. So he left, went to the Warriors. After we lost, blew that 3-1 lead. He left. He went to the Warriors. I think he stayed there 4 years. Then he messed with the Warriors though? I feel like he did mess with the Warriors because he stayed there long enough. But with the Nuggets, or excuse me, the Nets, he didn't get a chance to mesh. The Suns, he hasn't got a chance to mesh yet. And he not him. Like he just not the leader. You know what I mean? Anywhere he goes, he can't necessarily be like the leader or the number one option, even though that's what he was, in Oklahoma City was the leader. But at this point, it's like
Even on the Warriors, they nobody looked at him as the leader of the team.
Not at
definitely
all.
not. Definitely not.
Everyone still looked at Steph, and I feel like that bothered him. And I feel like there was a lot of clashes behind the scenes between Draymond and KD, and I feel like it had to do with Steph being that, like, he listed him as the leader and saying, KD, you need to take it down a notch. I feel like he always is the security behind Steph. It seems like in every situation.
I feel like Draymond the leader though, to be honest. Like when it comes to like if we talking about leader on the court,
Leading.
Steph. If we talking about leader in the court, Steph. But I'm saying like the person that's like that rallies the team and like just has that type of energy, like the like that type of person, I feel like it's Draymond Green.
He's not rallying the team on the court.
Yeah, not no,
Like,
no,
where's he
not on the court.
rallying people? Like, what do you mean?
I'm just saying like maybe in the locker room,
Like
like
team culture.
yeah, like team culture and like in the locker room, like who's making those speeches, like who.
You call him a cheerleader?
No, how you? I mean, you can cheerlead for your own team, but no, that's not what I'm saying. But I'm saying like when you having a tough game and there's things happening where it's like you got to go in at halftime and somebody got to make a speech. Like who want to hear Steph make a speech? Like who
I heard it
going?
is Steph. Like Steph, when it's like game time, he hit up all his teammates. He said, "Hey, if you want to play, play, and if you don't, like, just stay in the locker room." And he went out, had one of the best games when he finished off the Sacramento Kings.
Oh, that happened this postseason. Okay. I mean, yeah, maybe he did that for one game. I don't see them like always listening to him like all the time. No, that's just
Yeah,
me.
no, I agree. Like I think his basketball IQ is obviously very high. And so I think on the court, he's a leader. I just don't see him like you said, in the locker room or like when people are trying to build camaraderie when they first get to the team. Like I don't see him being the person that people go to like get hyped up. You know,
Mm-mm.
I definitely see that being more Draymond's piece.
Man, I'll definitely get hyped up to Steph. Like, if he hits like 5 3-pointers in a row, that shit gonna get me hyped.
And I feel you on that, but just because somebody is the best player, don't mean that they like the person with the mouthpiece that can motivate you though. Like it can motivate you
Hmm.
seeing his game, like oh this nigga hooping, like he balling out, but that don't make you the mouthpiece of the team to where you can
Yeah.
really rally the troops.
True. I think it's that way with like any job. Like if you're on a team at any job, there's that person who's really good at the job and who everybody puts up as like, oh, so and so is like so great at that, 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 that. But that's not necessarily the person who like in team meetings you want to listen to.
You feel like you ever been that person? Like anybody ever feel like team meetings, like when you start talking, your team just like, man,
Like they don't want to listen to you.
yeah, you just looking out at the crowd, you giving your presentation or something. There's just always that one person that's just looking at you like, all right,
No, I mean yes and no though. I feel like there has been times when that's happened, but I feel like you got to command attention. You know what I mean? Like Steph, not a nigga that's gonna command attention, like in the locker room when niggas down.
I'm not. I'm not gonna lie though. I do like at work. I do pay attention to who that person is that people tune out. Though I always think that's funny to look up and see like who's the person who, when they speak, everybody is like, "All right, let me open up my laptop. Let me send a couple emails real quick."
What's the characteristics of that person though that people tune out? Like, is it just are they monotone? Or are they just boring?
I think it's a combination of like, to be honest, that they're not likable as a person. So you really don't want to hear like their perspective on the work stuff. Number one. And number two, like they're not great at the job. Like they might be good at it, but they're not so good that it's like, you know what? Yeah, I don't like them, but I'm gonna listen to what they gotta say anyway. They're like, nah, you aren't it. I don't even like you. So yeah, I'm tuning out.
Like, I really want to tell you shut the fuck up every time you say something.
Truthfully.
Like,
So
what?
I'm gonna do the polite thing and just obnoxiously open up my email so you can tell I'm not paying attention anymore.
Type loud and fast. Like, not
Like
paying
I'm not
attention.
looking up at all.
Damn, is that me? I don't know. I feel like me at work, I try not to say anything, like for the most part. Like, if that makes sense. Like, in the
Like in
meeting,
team
like
meetings and stuff.
really? I always try to say something.
I was in a meeting the other day and I had started like somebody asked me a question and uh like somebody sighed real loud. It was
When
like
you ask the question.
no, like somebody asked me a
Oh.
question and I started answering the question and then somebody was like, and I was like, "Bitch, what the fuck? What the fuck you sighing for? I ain't even like, you know what I mean? So maybe it is me. That might be me. I might be the person that people don't like to hear from or like to tune out.
They be like, man, he don't even say nothing to nobody. Like, but he always got the answer. Like, shut up. Like, I'm sick of you talking. Like, she might kind of feel like that.
Okay. Be mad then, hope. No, but I think yeah, that might be me. That might be me now that I think about it. What about you? Is that you, Rod? Like, do you feel like I feel like people not gonna tune you out. I feel like you somebody at work that's probably like not well respected and like they trust what you
Nah,
say.
I think it's more or less like I'm more of a serious person at work. So I'm very like all work, no real play for real. Um, but I don't know. I can't. I don't think I can really think of anyone who's ever probably tuned me out. I could probably think of like a manager who's probably tuned me out, who I felt like, yeah,
That
he was
happened to
just like,
me.
yeah. It's just sometimes it be your managers who sometimes tune you out. Um, like they're not really listening to what you're saying. They're just already kind of answering you before you get done talking about what
I
you're
hate
saying.
that.
It'd be like they're trying to like finish your shit. It'd be like you're talking and they be, oh yeah, that's just this, and be like, yeah. Like
Mm-hmm.
it just seems like they're trying to get you the fuck out the room.
I love it when they get it wrong, when they're like, da, da, da. And I'm like, no, 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 no. Actually, what I was going to ask you was da, 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 so and
Mm-hmm.
so.
Mm-hmm.
I
Yeah, I do
love
that
it.
every time because I'd be like, yeah, okay, but this is what I'm talking about though. So I don't know. Even my job now, I don't know. There might be a cultural barrier or something with my manager. She be trying to like finish what I'm saying, and I'll be like, "Yeah, I understand that, but this is what I'm saying. Like, there's something different about this particular case. That's why I'm coming to you, or I wouldn't be in here in front of you, like
Right. I don't
talking.
want to talk to you. Like I'm talking to you
Yeah, it'd
because
be
I
like,
have to.
yeah, it's like I'm here for because like I have to ask you this question. Like,
I'm not doing this for fun.
Not at all. I remember this one time I was coming out of a meeting, and we were talking about like strategies on this project that I'm working on, like kind of the beginner stages and stuff like that. And so we left, and I'm walking. It's me on the left, and there's like two leaders like two of my team leaders like walking next to me, and I was like, yeah, I'm thinking maybe we should use woo, woo, woo. But I didn't even finish my sentence. Like I was like in the middle of my sentence, one of them just interrupted me. It was like, yeah, so we just going yeah, so like what's going on this weekend? Like I'm like, bro, like I can't, it just kind of feel bad when you feel like your words are insignificant. Like when niggas cut you out mid sentence and change the whole subject. Like I wasn't
The
talking about nothing.
disrespect.
Like I wasn't saying nothing, no. Like, you know what I mean?
So what
Like
did you do? Did you say, and back to my question, or you just let it ride?
I didn't say nothing else the whole time we walked back to the desks. I was like, okay, heard, I understand. See, this is why I don't fuck with y'all.
I was about to say, so this is why you don't talk in meetings.
Exactly, because it's like, you know, I, that's an interesting thing though. Like, is there a way to demand respect when you talking? You know what I mean? Like, is it how you talk? Is it
So
what you
you
say?
let another grown man talk over you, and you just got quiet. That's what you're saying.
What else am I gonna do? What should I have done?
Finish your response.
It was already over. He changed the whole subject like to something totally different. Like it was no point to even like obviously they didn't want to hear the shit. So I'm like, all right,
It seemed like you were talking about work, and they were talking about just things outside of work. Was that the case? We
yeah,
are just like
we wouldn't talk about
it was like
nothing.
lunch or something, or like was
When
it?
I say we just left the meeting, and so I'm following up. Like I'm like continuing talking about the strategies. Like yeah, maybe we should use woo woo. Woo. And then he switched it totally up. So we wasn't even talk about.
Oh,
That's
but
just what he wanted to talk about.
in the meeting though, like why didn't you bring up what you had to say then? Like why you wait to the end of it?
Uh, I don't know. That's a good question. It wasn't really something to say during the meeting because the meeting was between multiple teams, and every team has their specific, tasks and stuff like that. I was talking about like what we were like our team was supposed to do, which everybody didn't need to hear that.
I see. Okay.
But yeah, Brett switched it up. I mean, I was like, heard you. I understand. But I guess back to this basketball, so we can wrap this topic up, even though we went on a tangent there.
He gave you to send an email.
Basically, I don't even think I talked to him about that shit since, and that was like months ago, to be honest.
You were like,
Um,
actually, this project's never getting done now.
these motherfuckers don't get me to talk about work because I have many comments that I have a lot of shit to say. But let's finish this basketball topic. Who's taking the finals this year? And who do y'all think is gonna take the whole thing? Like not who we want, but who do we think?
I'm biased then because I'm gonna pick who I think I want to win, and I'm gonna pick the Lakers. It's LeBron.
Okay.
So I think it's gonna end up probably being Miami Lakers again. And then Lakers take it.
You know, I don't know. I think the Celtics might make it again out of the East. I think the Celtics they too deep. Like they got Jalen Brown, Jason Tatum, Brogdon, Al Horford, Marcus Smart. Like they super deep. Like even in the bench too. So I'm thinking they might take the East. Now on the West, I feel like I don't know. Like I said, I feel like the Nuggets really gonna sweep the Lakers, but the Lakers kind of got a bench too though. Like they got Lonnie Walker. I don't know if Austin Reeves is starting right now. I think he is, but I don't know. I think it can go either way in the West. But I really think the Nuggets is going to take it in 4 or 5 games, to be honest. So Nuggets, Celtics, and I think Nuggets going to win it all this year. Yeah.
Okay. I'll not be mad at the switch up at all.
Hmm.
Thinking about Jalen Brown, that just brings up interesting things to me. I don't know if this is still going on, but you guys heard that he was dating Bernice Burgos, right?
Oh shit! I didn't know that.
Yeah, I don't know if they're still together. I was just trying to do my Googles real quick to see if they are still together. Now, mind you, she's what, like 41, 42, and a grandma. And he is
Jalen
what?
Brunson's who again? Who's Jalen Brunson?
You talking about Jalen Brown from the Celtics?
Yeah.
Jalen
He
Brown.
he be having a mask on these days, like that black mask.
And Jalen Brown
Mm.
is 26.
Hmm.
And Bernice Bogos was with Rick Ross. I'm thinking.
Yeah,
Okay.
I mean, she Rick Ross, Drake, Ti. She kind of
Oh damn.
yeah. She been around a little minute. Um, I mean, obviously, like, she still looks beautiful. She looks great, even if she's your grandma and whatnot. But I don't know. I just feel like if you're a 26-year-old multimillionaire, I don't know if I'm going for the 41-year-old grandma.
I mean, she bad. You know what I mean? Maybe it's just one of them like bucket list type things. Whereas I might as well just see what's up with Bernice right quick, and then we gonna go get something younger. You know, something around my actual age.
Yeah.
Yeah, she still look thick and young. Like, well, I
But
was looking at some pictures. She don't look like grandma.
oh, I looked it up now. Okay, so she's 43 now. Okay.
hmm
43. I wonder if she'll be at the games. We shall see. You know what's interesting is like we hear a lot about in football, like the curse of certain women, like Tom Brady, it was Giselle. You know, I feel like in football, we're very aware of like how um, football wives and girlfriends can negatively affect their performance. We don't ever talk about that with basketball, though.
We don't, but it does happen. I was listening to another podcast, Gil's Arena, and he was talking about like he had like a party and stuff like that, and no, it's off the court stuff, but it still affects like your teammate chemistry and stuff like that. So he was having a party and he invited the teammates and the wives. But then the wives were just talking about like, you know, they was complaining about this, complaining about that. He was like, man, fuck it. No wives, just all players. Like, so
Uh-huh.
I think that it is something that does happen in the NBA, whereas like you need that camaraderie and you don't need input from like your wife nagging you about the kids, daycare and shit like that. So I think it happens. I mean, that's just
Yeah.
anecdotal, but
That's why I think the Bernie's thing is interesting because I feel like that could be a distraction for the team. I'm just curious if I was looking at her Instagram. I haven't seen her post anything at games or anything like that. Like when Brittany Renner was with PJ Washington, I'm sure that was a distraction for the team.
hmm like look who courtside, like, which is also interesting because during these last couple of Lakers games, they keep showing Kim Kardashian courtside,
Mm-hmm. And they say she's on the prowl.
but that's what people trying to figure out is like who is he there for? Like, is she just there for the love of the game?
I heard that the rumor was that she might be dealing with Lonnie Walker.
Yeah, that's what I heard that too. Kim can't never go get an accountant like a finance man, even a doctor. Like, why you gotta fuck with the famous niggas? Like, I don't get that.
I want her to be with like a tech bro, like somebody who's like a billionaire but doesn't look like it, who's very low key. That, or I see her with like an Italian, um, like a rich Italian man. Like, oh, my family owns all the newspapers in Italy, and we've been rich for like 300 years. I see her somebody like that.
She not going back. She went black. She not going back. I'm telling you. Ain't no way she going back to no
That's why
Italian man.
if it's an Italian man, there might be enough little spice for it,
Yeah, they spicy white. I guess Italians are spicy white. Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
That's
She
true.
could be with like an English guy. She need a little bit of spice.
Speaking of spice, Ice Spice. Remember, I don't know if y'all heard about Jordan Poole spending $500,000 on a date for Ice Spice.
What?
Yeah, that happened recently. And then he started being trashed. Like, he been trashed these last couple of games.
I told you, women.
So it's something to that. It's definitely something to that. Like, I think that does affect the game, affect how people playing. Like, even like, you know, like how boxers, how, you know, when before they box, like they can't, you know, they can't have sex, they can't, you know what I'm saying, do any type of sexual contact because it's like you're
Mm-hmm.
releasing your energy. You know, so it's kind of the same thing, I guess.
Yeah, that would be devastating paying $500,000 and she don't really pay attention to you like that. And she's just still twerking around everywhere. You just like, and everyone's calling you a munch and it just looks bad. Like, I don't, it hits his ego. He's like, wow, like everybody's calling him up, like, you really spent 500K? Like,
And
he's
not
like,
just calling him up, but like on the court. Like if I was a player, I'm not giving anything extra for people to trash talk me about. I'm
Mm-mm.
not trying to, go up against somebody. They're trying to D me up talking about, okay, you a munch.
Right. Like,
Like
what the fuck? Man.
Like dating?
I don't know if they dating,
How
but he
much
spent
money is he
500K on
making?
her.
Like
Because
that's
500,
insane.
I don't care how much
On a
money you make.
date?
I don't care if you are a billionaire. $500,000 literally financially just does not make sense on one day. What did you buy her? A house?
That's impressive. Like I really want to know what did Ice Spice get? Did she just get like a big ass chain or
I don't know, but you know that he just got like, and that's why
Ice
people
Spice must
complaining.
see, she ain't even right. Like, why she even let him do that? Like,
No, she was wrong in the first place, for
she,
sure.
she just
That's
let
too
him run
much.
up the bill look that high. She just sitting there, just like, wow, like
And
he's really going all in. Look at this much. Like, it's crazy.
mind you, like she just became famous in like the last 12 months. Like this was like a regular girl from New York in the projects 12 months ago. And now she's going on $500,000 dates.
Hmm.
Yeah, I think she what 21 or something.
23. They're both 23. Doing too much. Because if you spend 500,000 on our first date, what am I going to expect the second date? What am I going to expect on our year anniversary?
A
Like,
million. Like you gotta set the bar. Like I was listening to I seen a clip of Cameron and Mace's podcast, which if y'all haven't checked that out, hilarious podcast. But they were talking about this situation, and then he was like, "Man, Jordan Poole, he gave her $500,000," and then Mace was like, "He could have just got her a pizza." Like he's from the Bronx.
honestly, that's
You know
what
what I
I was
mean?
saying.
So it's like you got to set that bar real low so you can build it up. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I want to actually hear from Jermaine's perspective on this. If a guy goes out and spends that much money on you, do you feel any obligations? Do you feel like you like this guy is crazy? Is he just really sweet? Like what really runs through y'all mind in that situation?
Personally, I'm the type where like until I like you, I don't want you to spend a lot of money on me. Like because I do feel a certain level of obligation. And I know some people would say like, "Oh, you're not supposed to feel that." I do. Like money doesn't grow on trees. Um and so once you get to a certain amount of money spent, if I don't like you where I know like this is not going anywhere, I would tell somebody, and I have told people like, "Please don't do this for me." Like because I'm also aware that men, let's be honest, like men don't just do stuff out of the goodness of their hearts. A lot of times in the early stages of dating is with some expectation that like not necessarily like, oh, you're gonna have sex or whatever, but an expectation like, oh, she feeling me. I'm getting points for this. I'm putting pressure on her. She gonna keep, messing with me.
Yeah, these broke
And
niggas can never.
exactly. And they little do they know it's like, I never am gonna talk to you again. This will be our first and last date. So if I just know that I'm not really feeling somebody like that,
Even if you had a great time,
but money doesn't make it a great time. I think that's the thing that some of these men like confuse. Like that's why I don't want somebody to spend a lot of money on me because like a stupid amount of money because that doesn't automatically mean I'm having a good time, that I like you, and that I want to go out again.
I don't know. That's $500,000.
See, now, no, I'm not saying if he was trying to spend $500,000, I would say no. I say spend it. You got it. You're Jordan Poole. But if
Even if it
I
was Diddy, like in Croatia or something, like we know Diddy takes these women on these extravagant trips and boats and stuff like that. So
But like I said, I gotta be honest. Like, if I did not like the person, I wouldn't be able to say yeah. So if I liked Diddy, for example, and he was like, "Yo, I want to take you to Italy for 2 weeks," and I liked him, cool, run it up, let's go. If I knew he kind of gives me the ick, I'm not gonna say, "Yeah, let me go with you to Italy," just so I can like go on this trip, have you pay for it. Nah, I can't.
So let me share this clip. I'm sorry. I was while y'all was talking, I was just trying to find this clip, but this is hilarious to me.
That
This
nigga.
nigga Jordan Poole, I knew he was bugging. This nigga did an in and out and ran the nigga over. I said,
Yeah, because he's erratic. Because
yo,
what happens is this.
you
What
wildin'
happens is this. When you start dating the Ice Spices and the people, they say, boo watching. Let me, boo watching. Let me get all crazy because she don't give a fuck. She's from the Bronx, bro. Fordham Road. Have you been to Fordham Road? Jordan Poole, when next time you go to New York, go around Fordham Road, Concourse, High Bridge, South
Yeah.
Bronx. You gonna see what you spent $500,000 on and be like, yo, I was wild.
You was wild. You could have got her a pizza.
Yeah.
No, but yeah, I
And
had to show that. Go ahead.
no, he's 100% right. He's spending 500,000 like she's like, you know, the Queen of England. Like she's basically a regular girl who just got on. You can still low key treat her nice regular. You don't got to go overboard like that.
Little Birkin, maybe. No, not even a Birkin. Maybe like
Not even a Birkin. No, take her to a nice restaurant. Shoot, rent it out so you can do a private dining type
a
situation.
Buca de Beppo. You know?
Yeah, she could have had like the chef table or something like that.
Exactly. Chef table, you get a couple real nice expensive bottles of wine. There would have been a way he could have freaked that without having to spend $500,000.
Like when you go overboard like that just makes me think like I don't know, you don't really have much confidence in yourself. Like there's something weird about it.
That's a great point.
Yes, 100% agree. 100% agree.
Cause it's like if you knew you can get her, like you're not finna spend no $500K. Like I'm gonna riz you up first. Like it seemed like it was no riz all money. Like he bought her versus like, you know what I mean?
And I was looking up in an article. It looks like he bought her like a lot of clothes, you know, designer clothes and stuff. That was part of the $500K. He's gonna be sick as hell when she's wearing those clothes on a date with somebody else.
Shopping spree, she really racked it up like that. Like
crazy.
I don't blame her. Like, hey, she just really got all the designer shit, and like Jordan Poole just really kept swiping. Like, stop. Like,
what?
Like, he should have gave her a limit or something. Be like, yo, like 10, 20K, like go shop.
Or he could have just picked it out for her, like, hey, what kind of stuff do you like? What's your swag like? And he could have just went to the store and bought, like you said, 10, 20K worth, whatever he felt comfortable with, and then that's it. You don't take her and let her go crazy.
Cause that's not gonna make her stay with you just because you spent $500K. Cause right now she getting her own money, and she probably don't feel like she need a nigga. So like, yeah, you could have just did something simple like a gesture.
And it starts when you do stuff like that. 500K is gonna make you look like a trick. And for a regular dude, it may not be spending 500K on a girl, but there's a number that if you spend a certain amount on her, like she's gonna look at you like a trick.
Probably like 5 racks.
5 racks, and we aren't together. You aren't my man. We aren't in a relationship. I just got to know you. Yeah, like
what are you doing?
I guarantee, like they still texting though. Like, you
That's
spent
it?
$500K. Like, there's no way. Like you gotta answer every text I send you. Like
No,
let's be
she
real.
need to be connected to my goddamn hip for $500,000
I was about to say a text is not enough.
on demand.
Because I would be, if I was him, I'd be sick if it was like 3 hours and she didn't text me back. For 500K, I expect immediate responses.
What was you doing, ISIS? Like
she didn't even say good game or good luck. Like she know damn well he didn't.
Sick. She didn't even watch the game low key.
She
didn't even know a game was going on. She was like, "Oh, you playing today? Oh, that's crazy.
That's cute."
What if she hit him with that?
I'm in her mood.
I'm thinking, like, what if she hit him with that? God. Like after that 3-pointer he tried to shoot at the end, it was like, why'd you shoot that?
You know, I feel like she would be down though if she said that. She might actually be down for him. Like that's real constructive criticism because that shot was out of line.
Yeah, she probably just sent emojis, like laugh emojis, like wow.
You a clown. All right, let's wrap this shit up though. This episode is should we do highlights? Let's go ahead and get into some highlights for this week. So what y'all got for us this week?
Particularly, I'm gonna go ahead and highlight NBA Youngboy, and really, it's just based on the energy. Like after the Dirk situation, Dirk he said was trying to use him for promo, and he was like, "All right, keep playing with me." Richest Opp coming out same date, and off of that, that made me listen. That made me energized to listen to that project, and I wasn't disappointed. I heard some great music on this. Fuck the Industry Part 2. Oh man. He was talking about fuck Drake, fuck J. Cole. He said fuck Yachty. Like he was going in. And I
He
love that
called
kind of
Yachty the forbidden word. That was crazy to me. Like we still using that word in 2023? That's crazy.
Well, he called him a hoe.
The F
The
word.
other word.
Oh, that's crazy. Yeah, I saw Yachty respond. He just responded with the 50 Cent meme. You gonna come after me? Like what I do?
What did Yachty do though? Like I don't understand that.
Yeah, I mean the whole thing actually came out already. Youngboy, he responded. He did on the phone. He said, "Yachty, you funny as hell. Like you know exactly what that was about." Because apparently Yachty was with JT. NBA Youngboy hit up JT, and it was on just like some cool friend shit. And he said Yachty checked him and called him and said, "Hey, like that's my." I guess this is what happened. Probably he probably was like, "That's my girl." Like last calling her on that kind of tip. Like me and her got something going on.
I
So he was just like, "Fuck that
forgot
nigga."
about that. I forgot that Yachty used to go with JT. She has very interesting taste in men. Very different than what I would have expected.
That happened?
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, I mean she got the song out of Yachty. I mean, I don't know. I feel like she just probably goes. It seemed like she's going for real creative types.
Yeah,
I
for
don't know.
sure. She definitely has a type.
Shout out JT. What's your highlights?
I was gonna say my guy K Camp. He just released a new single, Even Steven. I feel like there's only a few of us that I know of, but I really rock with K Camp. I'm a big K Camp fan.
Yeah, he
So I'm
hard.
excited about that. Mm-hmm.
I haven't heard shit since what? Cut It?
That was OT Genesis. So yeah.
Well,
Man, I want to highlight. I might have already highlighted this like a couple of weeks ago, but I'm still listening to it, so I'm gonna highlight it again. Um, Shout out to Alex Isley, one of my favorite singers. She has a song with Sir called damn, what's that damn song? Oh, Love on Demand. Love on Demand by Alex Isley and Sir. Great song, real sultry, real, you know what I'm saying? Like real, like it's probably like some bedtime music, like something in that vibe. But great song. So check out that. Check out that K Camp. Check out that NBA Youngboy. But with that being said, man, this has been the Friends Podcast. If you got it this far, thank you. And we out. Peace out.
Peace.